Hey everyone, we're going to head over to the estate sale in just a moment. I just pulled an item off of the shelf here that sold for $35. This little Jawa figure is awesome. Great way to start the day. Hopefully that's a good omen for later on that we'll be able to find some good stuff at this estate sale. So when we come back, we will pull another Star Wars figure out of one of these two Darth Vader cases. If you have not seen me crack those open before, there's a ton of figures in there, so we'll see what we pick out later. For now, let's get this packed up, out on the porch for the pickup, and off to the estate sale. Okay, we're in the area. I'm not going to show the exact house because this is a private estate sale pick. So in other words, the estate sale dealer, and this is my #1 estate sale dealer I've talked about before, has taken the list of their top customers and has invited them out to sales per appointment. Oh, and by the way, before I go in, for those of you who think this is unsafe, this sale follows COVID guidelines, so you have to wear a mask. So I will be wearing a mask in there. Everyone has to wear a mask or you cannot get in, and everyone is going to be separated in different rooms. So there's not going to be any crowding going on for those who are concerned about safety. All right, so we're in. I start off by heading down those basement stairs. I love starting in basements because it's usually where the best stuff is located. There's that big sign against the wall and one next to it. I love them, but they were too big for what I was looking for, and they were $75 a piece. I was really looking for signs that were more moderate in size or small in size, like this one. Anything temperature related sells very well for me when it's combined with vintage advertising like this. This was fastened against the wall, not with a screw, but with a nail. But you just had to jiggle it a little bit, popped right out, no damage at all. Put it right in the box. Give it a nice little double tap to start the day, and we are off for some more finds. Here is a vintage pewter mug on that mantle. Just look underneath, and you could see sometimes a maker's mark. You could do a little research on it and figure out some more info terms of date, company. $3 for that. I'll take that all day. Here's a drinking horn. I love drinking horns. They remind me of the Vikings. They're collectible for the company Tuborg. They sell well. And look behind stuff. Just move that bucket to the side. There's another one hiding. I found you. I put that one in the box as well. You could either sell them separately or make a combination deal for somebody. Now, this is the sign that I really love, and I picked this one up. I love the chains hanging off the wall, the lion, just the coloring. It's got that little tag on it. It was $25. You just pull the little piece of the tag on the bottom for these bigger items. Make sure you put it somewhere where you're not going to lose it. And then you carry it to the dealer at the end of the day, and she'll go down and get the sign so you don't have to carry it around with you all day. Now look back here. You see me pointing? There's something camouflaged against that wall that people missed. So you have to look for things that might be kind of fading into the background somewhat. And sure enough, we've got this piece. Now, at first, I thought they might be posters. Even when I started to unfurl it, I thought, maybe posters. Now, it says Black Folklore in America. There's no comps for this. What this actually is a calendar that Miller made in 1976, and I have done very well selling vintage calendars. People love to buy vintage calendars from the year that they were born. They might like the theme that's in it. They might like the vintage pictures that are in it. They may have had one in the past. They want to get it back, that sort of thing. So you could see there's a lot of cool pictures inside of here. Again, no comps, so we'll have to try to figure out exactly what to do with pricing on this, but the main flaw with it is that it has some creases and it's been wrinkled up a bit. So I'm going to have to flatten it out, do some pressing with it, put some oversized books on top just to flatten that out a bit. But a great pickup, just wound up getting tossed into this big lot at the end of the day. You're going to see this entire box get filled. This is, speaking of filled, that's a filled bottle of cream ale. Now, it's alcohol inside. That's not cream soda. So this one is empty. So you can't sell them with filled alcohol or any alcohol on eBay because it's illegal. It's against the law. It's against the rules. So that would have to be emptied. But at least I'd have the cap that I could put on it and sell it that way. So that's what I do. I empty the alcohol bottles that are filled before I sell them. Now this room is, your traditional boring basement room that you might come across. But look inside these tubbies. You might find interesting things. This is a great example. I love these. Individually, they wouldn't sell that well. But drawing books, if you could buy lots of drawing books like this, you could do really well with them. Just make little combos. There's a few duplicates in there, but just make a couple different sets for people. They'll buy them for their kids. They might even buy them for themselves. And make sure you do a little digging, look underneath, and there we go, a couple more. So anyone who likes comic books, cartoons, that kind of thing, might like this type of stuff. This one on the bottom there, you're going to see there's a Giants book, but that one doesn't sell. I did look up the comps on that one. So there's a little stack. Put that one in the box as well, and move on to the next item. Big thumbs up. Now, this is an inflatable, and this is a perfect time of year to get inflatables. You're going to come across promotional inflatables at sales if you go to homes of collectors, of people who work for companies where they got this type of thing. Now, these are trivets, by the way. I don't think I showed the bottom of these, but they have these little foot pedestals in each of the corners. So they're used to put hot food on top of it and keep things safe at the dinner table. So they're nice and collectible there. This is a cool one. Kind of reminds me of the Rocky sweater that went out to Laura Cohn, the hoodie that I gave away on my live show. This is cool, this Miller bag right here. No comps on this at all. A lot of these things, there's not going to be any comps, but that's going to even make it more desirable. Vintage pencils. These are often overlooked, especially if they are not sharpened. Definitely look into picking them up. If they have vintage advertising on them or vintage sports teams, you could sell those in a nice little lot. Remember how well I did with the vintage Kiss pencils. Here's some more pewter pieces right here in a different room. So there we've got, I think, a similar maker's mark right there, and I believe $3 a piece. There's something that says Marlboro on it. Someone could relate that to cigarettes, even though that might not have been the intent, but that would be a cool little trophy piece for someone to have. And check the bottoms. This is awesome. Oak Ridge, Holiday Inn, Oak Ridge. This one also sells well. I think over $30 for this one in terms of comps. So this one was left here. Why? Why was it left here? Because there's tape on it. Pop the tape off. Look underneath. Don't just think that everything there is based on what's on top, that first piece, because look what we find underneath. These sell really well. Check the comps on the old Budman stickers. I mean, these are so cool. Look at these. If you love Bud and you remember the Budman, these pieces you would really enjoy. So there's a whole bunch of them, and they're nice and bright and shiny and colorful. You could sell them individually, or you could sell them in a nice lot and really make a good sum out of that. So, just put them back in, put the lot back in the box, and now we go on to the next part. And this, I love showing this stuff, which is making sure you are going and looking on the bottom of places. A lot of great stuff is hiding on the bottom. These vintage Cornell alumni cups or mugs from 1967. Believe it or not, there's actually comps on these things, and they also sell really well, like $20 or something. They're really, really good pieces, nice and shiny and bright. This is a vintage ashtray, by the way. It's a pewter ashtray, so you would stick the cigarettes in each one of those slots, so I definitely wanted to pick that one up. People collect those types of things too. Both pewter pieces and ashtrays, anything related to cigarettes and stuff. You could see here, we've got another room that I walked into. Now, I didn't have much time left. At this point, I've got about maybe 15 minutes left. There was another one of those Lowenbrow signs hanging up against the wall, but had a big giant crack in it. More inflatables, and this is a great time of the year, by the way, to get inflatables. I pointed to the Charlotte Hornets. That's a vintage Charlotte Hornets logo. You need to know that because that logo for the Charlotte Hornets sells really well. I sold a Charlotte Hornets hat once that had that logo on it for I think almost like $80 to $100. It was crazy. All these things are still sealed. Just amazing. You could take them out of there if you want to, and give someone a better description of what's in there to still buy them. This is a cool piece. It's sealed. It's vintage. Something related to brewery. You could picture somebody hanging that up in their man cave or something. So another nice vintage piece. And as usual, if anyone sees something like that they want, just reach out to me and I will make it a priority to the list. Now, this is a great example of how people miss stuff, okay? Remember, there were dealers in here before me and everything. That just looks boring, right? It just looks like a brown piece of
plastic, right? But look on the back. What is it? It's an inflatable moose through Miller. That's a promotional item. There's the original box. There's no current comp for that, but that thing is going to sell really well. You can get a lot of money out of something like that. So just toss that in there. This was probably left behind because it had some light staining on it, but I figure that we could spot clean that. So like that right there is probably the worst area. So we're going to work on that, and I'll show you eventually what it looks like once we've completed the cleaning on that. But that one was just, there was no way I was going to leave that one behind. I had to grab that one. So that one goes over to the box as well. It even unzips, so if you wanted to take it out of there and do a little cleaning that way, you could do that too. But I do well selling alcohol-related plushes. If you've been following my channel for a while, you might remember the big Coors bottle plush that I found, and they sell usually very fast. You could see the box is just continues to fill up. Now, here's another example, okay? Myself and the estate sale dealer were marveling at how people left this there because no one wanted to open it up and look. So, there you can see, I actually will have that listed by the time you see this. This was the kitchen area, and there were these really nice dish sets. Now, I don't normally do stuff related to dishes, but I picked those up because they were only $3 a piece, and they're really easy to ship, already boxed up. Now, I had about 5 minutes left to run upstairs and check the rest of the areas out. And just like I was saying before, the basement is the best area. There's not a lot of great stuff up here, but I wanted to grab that vintage Ronald McDonald's. And I told you, if you ever see anything vintage and Mattel, definitely good things to pick up. And there you could see right there, we've got a nice vintage Mattel plush. So put that one in the box, grab both of those. This is a Christmas room, a bunch of Christmas stuff in here. Was not interested in this.
Wow, that was a fun race against time. Here's the receipt for the day. You can see the total came to $99. I said just round it up to 100. So $100 for everything. I mean, I should make that back in 1 or 2 sales. Some of those things were just amazing. So really excited about this, and looking forward to getting some of this stuff listed. As usual, if you see anything in this video that you liked, just let me know and I will give it priority to list. All right, let's head back to PTHQ. So I'm taking some overhead photos right now to get this one listed. I just love this piece. It's a nice sunny day, so figured it would display really nice right here in the sun. So I can't even believe it that yesterday I forgot to put up the video of me taking photos like this of the Afghan. So I'm going to include those as well in this video too, coming up right after this part. All right, well, here's the Afghan all laid out. I told you that I like to try to list something when I come back from one of these sales just to get my money back quick, and this is going to do more than get my money back because this thing is huge. It's 91 by 80 inches. For frame of reference, there's an Afghan right now on Etsy for $145. That's 56 by 71 inches. So, I mean, this thing is absolutely massive. It's so colorful, just so pretty. Love it. Now, sometimes people ask me how I get these overhead shots. Well, what I do is I'll just stand on something. Like outside, I'll stand on this high back stool. Obviously, you have to be careful. If you are frail, if you have balance problems, you don't want to do something like this. So, it's what you could do physically to get some elevation. There's ways to get cameras installed overhead to take camera shots facing downwards. So that's another option. But right now, as long as I'm able, this is how I do it. And don't forget to take a photo in which you are directly hovering over it, just to get a nice picture that represents all of the different colorful designs that are in there. And lastly, don't forget to flip it over and take some pictures of that side as well, because the last thing you want is to go through all the time to set this up and then the buyer messages you and says, "Could I see the other side of it?" So just get it all done at once. Trust me. Okay, we have time for one poster pull today, and this one is a request by Take Me to Your Lido. What a great name that is for a YouTube handle. Let me show you the one that was picked out. All right, so take me to Orlito said, take me to the purple poster in the top left corner. That's the one we've got here, and it's a Lone Ranger poster. That sounds pretty cool. I just sold some Lone Ranger comic books, some vintage ones for some good money. So excited to check out what this one looks like here. And as usual, if you have a poster selection, poster pick you want me to make, let me know, and I'll shout you out on the channel, and we'll pull the poster out and display it. All right, everyone, this is the Lone Ranger poster right here. I think this one looks pretty cool. It's only worth about $10, but it's still pretty neat, so gonna put this one up in the store tonight. I didn't forget about you, Darth Vader. We're gonna crack you open and find a figure in here to list. Let's go straight ahead with the Power Droid. I did put some of these in the correct slots. So this one is right around a $15 figure. So I just grabbed it because I don't have to go and hunt around for weapons or anything like that. So we'll just get this one listed. And if you see anything in here you like, or in a couple videos back I showed you what's in the other case, let me know and I'll get it listed for you. All right, well, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, so it is time to wrap things up for today. Another shirt change. It's getting warmer out. Took a walk with the kids and stuff, so just trying to work in so many things throughout the day. Did another video, which you probably saw me toss up on Saturday night, so just a lot of stuff going on. But I want to thank Scotty777 right there for purchasing this book. You remember this from the prior estate sale video that I put up. This one actually sold for $40. I had said that it would easily sell for $30, which it would, but when I went to check further into what my current competition was for it, what I saw is that the other versions of the books were just terrible. They were in really bad shape and the feedback was bad. So always look at that. Don't just look at price, because that might be able to be something you could look at to increase the value of your item. And it did here. It added $10 of value based on those factors. So thanks again, Scotty, for the purchase. And importantly, just make sure you're paying attention to my purchasing model. So again, I buy things in lots and I try to get my money back really fast. In fact, even try to get in profit sometimes, which I am with this one book. Everything yesterday I purchased for $24. So with a $40 sale, I'm already in profit, and everything else then will be profit. And I could rest easy with those items if they're just sitting around here for a little bit and I can't quite get to them. Something else that's sold here, these are just things that have been sitting around for a little. They came out of the storage unit haul, so nothing remarkable really about this. It's just a $10 book. It's a thin book, fantasy based book here. And then the other one is a video game guide. I don't often pick up video game guides because they're so overproduced, and once people stop playing the games, they don't really want the guide. There's exceptions to what I just said, of course, but by and large, for a lot of the video game books that you pick up and guides, they're usually not worth too much. This one right here sold for $10. So again, just another quick bread and butter sale. And the last thing to show you, I can't even show you both of them because, as you know, or as many of you know, I do have some adult related items on my site. That's a topic more for another day. Nothing crazy, but this one I could actually show you. Some people are gonna crack up who watch this for, oh, I can't get that whole thing in there. I better move this up or I'm gonna get in trouble. All right, this one I could show you. I almost got so nailed there. At least this one I could show you. Some people are gonna laugh at this one, but the pumpkins technically are not nudity. This is Taro. I almost mispronounced it. Taro. I almost mispronounced it again. Taro, Witch of the Black Rose. There she is. So maybe she's just got me tongue-tied right now. I don't know. But this is an 11x17 print. You should pay attention to her. I've made a lot of money off of her. She's great. She's a comic book character, and there's a lot of art prints that Jim Ballant, the artist, has done a lot with her, and a lot of other associated female characters with really funny names like Boo Cat and stuff. I mean, it just really cracks me up. So anyway, these both sold for about $15 a piece, going out to the same buyer. And I have other tarot prints in my eBay store if you are interested in that type of stuff. Some is in the adult category, some is not. Again, that's more a topic for another day. But anyway, gonna pack these up. I hope you enjoyed everything from the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you back at the next one, everyone. Take care.